All right, hello and welcome to the HRL Summer Short Track Showdown schedule. So we've got the schedule ready to go for the most part. There's a few placeholders here or there, and there's a few slots like later in the season that could get moved around. Kind of similar to last season, but I'd say most of it will stay pretty much the same. And especially like the first 3 weeks are pretty set in stone at this point, as you'd think they would be. But yeah, so what we're going to do today is go through the schedule. I'm going to talk about the tracks. I've seen all of them. Go through the whole thing. That's what today's video is going to be completely focused on. Tomorrow, I'll put one up focused on the format and like any rule changes, any things like that. And then hopefully we'll have a trailer on Friday. I wanted to do it sooner, but Xbox had the issue yesterday where the servers were down forever. And that was actually the time when I was thinking about maybe getting some recording in for it. So that's chalked. It'll definitely be not earlier in the week now. It'll definitely be like the day of. Hopefully not like super late, like right before the race or anything. Hopefully you want to do it around like noon or something like that. So yeah, today's scheduled video, tomorrow, format, all that stuff. If you have any questions for the format, like beforehand, say throw them on this one. I'll look at any of that and, you know, maybe address some of that going into the next one. And then, you know, always can leave questions on that one as well. But yeah, that, and then trailer Friday. So there you go. And obviously the races as well. You can see the date there, the races. Definitely want to stress that starting this Friday. So like really soon, like literally in 2 days, this season is starting up. So, all right. Let's go through it. So first week, all these tracks, by the way, are on details files. I was actually going to do it myself, but again, it was around the time when the servers were down, and I was like, well, can't do that. So he went ahead and did it, kind of coincidentally, so that worked out. I'm going to try to do it myself if I can for the next few weeks, or one of us will do it. Regardless, just keep an eye out on the Discord, and you'll know where to look. I think it'll be a nice thing to have it in like one place for everyone. I think that'll be pretty convenient. But yeah, for this first week, they're all in his files and should be towards the top if you want to see any of these tracks before you race them. So first track up is a Reach Terrain Oval by Roman. And it is a pretty fun one. I think this one's really good. I think it should make for pretty good racing. It's like nothing too crazy in the terrain oval department. Should just be solid, good racing, good season opener. I like it a lot. The next AX, if I recall correctly, this one's like kind of, well, it's got one section at least that's like kind of MX-y, which I was looking for the AXs in this season. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, Salisbury has that. That's the thing that really stood out to me for that track. It's got some technicality, but it's not like too crazy from what I can recall. But definitely worth checking out. And then Aeternum is a pretty cracked GK by Opix, and that one's like super tight. Definitely worth checking out. I think it'll be really fun, and it's made on what's the H2A name for it? Zenith, I think. So different map there too, kind of interesting. That one will be cracked. It'll be a good opening week. So there's the opening week, and I'll try to rip through the rest of the season real quick, just say like one or two things about each track as we go through them. Crystal Grotto, TRS by myself. Really tight for a Hog TRS. The collisions, one of them not so bad. The other one could be pretty brutal. That'll be an interesting race. Demetria is a H3 terrain oval by myself. Pretty standard one. The one H3 terrain oval that we got in the schedule. And, you know, hopefully going to be a pretty fun race, and also going to be a time race, because I don't feel like dealing with H3's checkpoint shit anymore. Noodleplex AX, made by Detail, Halo Reach, Arena Cross. Nothing too crazy with this one, just a very solid, well-made AX. More technical than it looks. Looking forward to that one. Enforcer GK, if I recall correctly, this is by Roman. And it's pretty cracked. It's got some terrain. It's got some steep inclines and declines. That one will definitely be worth checking out before the race, because it's a pretty tough one. It's a pretty tough one. Quadro Current TRS, Reach Hog or Truck TRS made by Opix. Pretty wide open. as far as a, you know, Hog TRS goes. It's got some split lines. The collisions, is it just one collision? I think it's just one collision on that one. Can be pretty brutal, and there's some turns that are like really hard to make as well. Yeah, pretty solid. Should be a fun one. Silver Lake Speedway, H2A terrain oval, by myself. Just a really like weird layout on this one. It's the turns. It's almost like the entire track is like a neg camber almost, is like kind of how it feels. So a different one as far as the terrain ovals go, but also like really small, a lot of laps. That'll be an interesting one. And then we go into, most of the weeks are 3 races. We go into week 4, which is actually a quad. It's the one quad 4-race night in the season. And it kicks off with Madison AX. That is a Hog AX by myself, based off a real-life layout. Still tweaking a few things on it, but it's mostly done. And should be pretty fun. Should be pretty intense because it's, I mean, obviously like a Hog AX is going to be pretty tight. And there's a little bit of technicality to it here and there. So that one should be interesting. Hollywood Hills GK. H4 GK made by myself. This one's got some neg camber action. It's got a downhill chicane into a neg camber that's pretty tough. A jump that I'm pretty proud of. It's a very simple layout, but I think should be pretty good for passing and pretty fun to race on. And then we've got Barv Hog TRS made by Opix. It's like a remix type thing of one of his own tracks. Barvo, he made one of my old videos or teases like aged pretty well here with a Barvo TRS. This one's really cool. I like this layout a lot. Definitely one that I have circled on the schedule. Really looking forward to racing Barv Hog. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then we have XD500. This is made almost on the Amazon One surface on H4, but it's terrain oval by Roman, and this one is a little more tech than it appears at first glance, but I think we could have pretty good racing on here. You can't really protect the inside. You got to keep up that momentum. Should be a fun one. Should be a fun one. And H4, let me see. Yeah, H4 is pretty rare. It's the only H4 terrain oval now that I look at it, so that makes it unique as well, makes it stand out. Week 5, we go into Johnstown AX. This is a old AX that we've only raced once before. I cooked it up for, I can't remember. Maybe Real Deal did help with it. I don't know. Maybe if it was testing, I don't know if that was crazy or not. He did well in the race. I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time. But made for the grand finals that we did. That was like a 4 or 5 year in the making, whatever it was, grand final that was like super delayed that we did for H2A. So it's that track. If you remember that, it's that track. It's pretty technical. Should be one of the more difficult tracks on the season, I think. Bioluminescence GK. This is the track that's very well lit. Go-kart track by Detail. Pretty fun, flowy layout, but has a chicane that's pretty difficult, and you definitely want to get the hang of that before racing it. And then we have Westerling TRS. This is Roman's H2A Hog TRS, one of them. This is the one that made it into the schedule. Nothing too crazy with this one. I just think it's like a really well-made, fun-to-race Hog TRS. Solid one from Roman here. Going to week 6. First track is Kreis. Kreis, we've raced it before. Terrain Oval and Reach, a lot of classic races. We did our like TRS races on Kreis. Should be pretty fun. Skyway. Skyway GK is H4 GK this time around, made by Detail. And this one, this might be, Enforcer is pretty cracked as well, but this might be the most cracked of all the GKs. He definitely cooked up some crazy stuff with this one. So yeah, Skyway, I'm looking forward to seeing how that one races because the track is kind of bonkers. And then Bluegill AX rounding out week 6. Roman's H4 AX here, just a solid, creative H4 AX layout. Good job from Roman on this one. And we go into the final week of the regular season. We got, this is one of the placeholders. One more TRS, gonna cook one up for that slot. We'll work on that. And then we've got Maji Beachfront. It's an H2 terrain oval by Opix, super tight and super quick. As you can see, 90 laps. And these are not like super long races. So yeah, 90 laps. It's very tight. It's very small. Like it is a cracked terrain oval layout. It'll be like the Martinsville, I guess, of those tracks. So yeah, that'll be a fun one. I'm curious to see how that one races because I think the track layout's really fun. But the way it's gonna race is gonna be interesting to see. That'll be, yeah, I'm curious to see how that one plays out. And then we go to the season finale, a track that I'm finishing up. I have a pretty good start of it, but I gotta finish up the layout. Crystal Lake GK, which is the second Halo 3 track. The only Halo 3 go-kart. I'm working at making a Halo 3 go-kart, and I've got the layout like 50-60% done. That'll be the season finale. It's off to a pretty good start. I'm really liking what I have of the layout right now. Just gotta finish it up. So yeah, and as you can see, the few tracks here that like aren't done, we tried to place those a little later in the schedule. Of course, same thing goes with like the placeholders, stuff like that. Try to do it like later in the schedule. As you'd imagine, rounding out the video, go through the grand finals. Of course, we got Adrenaline Autodome, classic train oval from way back in the day. Always fun. Haagen-Dazs AX that Slaunch is cooking up right now. This is another Hog AX. Got that in the grand final. It's looking pretty fun. I don't know if he's put it up on his files or like completely finished it or anything, but he posted a screenshot of it. I like the look of it. I thought it looked pretty cool. And then Jade Park H4 GK from OpEx. I think he did a really good job with this one. It's like not the craziest GK layout, but it's just like a really solid, fun, well-made H4 GK layout. Just fits really nicely in the grand finals. And then working on another Hog TRS besides the other one too. So still 2 more Hog TRS layouts to fit in here. Everything else has like plenty of tracks, plenty of potential, even if things get swapped. Like there's plenty to work with. Hog TRS was the one that was a little bit harder to work with, which isn't too surprising. So yeah, still 2 more slots there, but most of the schedule is fully made. And there you go. Gave a description. Tried to give the map creators for as many of them that I could remember as well. And yeah, so should be pretty fun. I like the schedule. I'm looking forward to week 1. I want to wrap this up, this video up here. And yeah, tomorrow going to be going over more in depth into the format, stuff like that, and then trailer and race day on Friday. So very, very soon, not too far away. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Seeing the schedule reveal. Trust me, even though this just goes through the tracks in my descriptions and you're not seeing them, the tracks are pretty sweet. This is a cool schedule. I like the idea for the season, and everybody did a good job cooking stuff up for it. So it's pretty fun to look at all these. GG's, and see you guys in the next video tomorrow.